Okay, thanks everyone for joining this second webinar of the cycle of webinars that are created by the project EYES, Entrecomp to create youth employability and social value, financed by the European Union through the Erasmus Plus youth program. We have now basically ready to start the second webinar of our cycle. It's going to be about networking with partners, sponsors, and stakeholders, of course, concentrated on the topic of social enterprises. So how to basically network with different stakeholders that are connected and useful for the building up of our an idea of social enterprise, a very relevant topic and a very big question for many young people that would like to start their adventure in this field. Together with me for running this session, there is Maher, which is coordinator of the project on behalf of our partner from Tunisia, the Scout Tunisian, the Tunisian Scouts. But of course, he will have the chance to tell more about who is he, what is his experience, and then to present us a little bit more about this very interesting topic in a few minutes. Maher, if you want, the floor is all yours, and I can give you the floor.
Hi, Federico. Hi, everyone. So, as Federico said, I'm Maher Trabelsi. I'm from Tunisia, active with the Tunisian Scouts as a volunteer, and I'm coordinating the project with our partners under the EYES project. Well, my background, I'm a professional in the field of nonprofit management, as well as humanitarian action and community development. Right now, I'm working with international organization in community development, and also, as I said, I'm active with the Tunisian Scouts. I apologize for my voice because I'm having some kind of flu, so sorry for that. The session today, or the second session, because the first one was very interesting about the impact, and this is from where I will start. The question, I don't know, Federico, if you are ready to start sharing the presentation. So as you saw from the advertisement we did for the session, we are talking today for the second session about networking with partners, sponsors, as well as stakeholders. And this is especially in the field of social entrepreneurship. Already with our friends from Spain, you heard what is the short introduction about social enterprise and which kind of impact we are trying to have in this world. Let's say we are trying to contribute to the change. And for us, networking with different stakeholders is one of the very important things that will allow us to implement our ideas, our initiatives, our project to contribute to create better world. So we will start with the agenda. So today we work mainly some definition, especially what is networking, what we mean by partners, sponsors, stakeholders. Then if we talk about networking, where we will meet those people and where we can do this networking. After that, we'll try to talk about the advantages and the benefits of networking. Then how we can build the partnerships in very simple steps. After that, I try to prepare some examples, and we'll be happy as well to hear your questions or to hear your feedback, and we'll try together to answer those questions. So also my invitation, if we have any person who is expert in that field joining now, we are happy to hear from you, and if you want to contribute with any idea. So The definition of networking, like the simple one, or like as we see from different, let's say, references, it's kind of a strategic process with like some intentions. And the idea is like to establish first, then maintain, and to leverage like the relationship with the different three parts from the main title, which are like the partners, sponsors, and stakeholders, and we'll come back to talk a bit more about those. And the other thing that all kind of relevant entities, they can help us to advance in our social mission and to reach our goals as social enterprise. So the idea is like to build connection with, like, doesn't matter, like individuals, groups, or organization, communities, and to share like the commitment to social impact. And as I said, like our main objective as social enterprises is like to create a change. We are not profit, but we are using this kind of profit to create like the real impact and to create like let's say positive change in the communities. And that's why we are trying like to have sustainable change. Like the key word I think for like social enterprise is like sustainable change. So networking in a social entrepreneurship like aims to create like collaborative opportunities. So we think that individual or like working individually or separately is not like the right way. So like having, let's say, collaborative, well, or like having like joint efforts, also giving access to different resources, and also like one important thing is like sharing knowledge. Like this is like some of the key, let's say, condition that will help social enterprise to thrive, to reach like the different objectives. And for us, like as we are addressing like social and environmental challenge, so which means that something is like in the interest of everyone. That's why we think again that networking is like the best way to bring more people to our side and to contribute with us to create this sustainable change. So the its key element, as I said, in developing supportive ecosystem that enhance the effectiveness and reach of social enterprise initiatives. You know, like the different social enterprises, they have different initiatives and they have like a different, let's say, field of works, but all of them, they are trying like to do that in collaboration with different, let's say, parties or relevant entities or stakeholders. If we move to the next slide, we can easily see the difference between like the three, let's say, keywords as well, like so partners, sponsors, and stakeholders. And for sure, many of you understand like the difference, but it's good to remind us some definition. So for us, like partners are allies who work with the social enterprise toward like shared goals, to contribute contributing resources, even expertise and knowledge or support to enhance the impact of this social initiative. So those what we call them like partners. So they are helping us, or they are supporting us, or they are being in our side. That's why we call them partners. The sponsors, so those like very specific entities or individuals that they can support us financially or in kind support. So they will give us some kind of support with providing us with some financial resources, or also in any kind of in-kind support. It could be like, I don't know, some meals during like training, or like some space for our meetings, or even like a video projector. So those kind of in-kind support, to understand what we mean by that. And often with vested interest in the success of specific project or the overall mission, because we can find some sponsors who are joining like specific action, specific event, or like specific activity, or some other sponsors because they believe in the mission of that social enterprise. So they adhere with that efforts and they give us support for all kinds of activities. Stakeholders, it's like the wider definition, and we see all kinds of individuals, groups, organizations that are affected by or affecting the social enterprise, which means that they have like any kind of relation to be supporting us or to make or to be like challenge or barrier for us, or also like the social enterprise is like affecting their life or their activities. Doesn't matter like positively or negatively, but we hope that most of the time social enterprise, they are doing like positive like effect. And as I said, like they can be like beneficiaries, communities, investors, employees, like our team or our volunteers, or anyone with the interest in the social enterprise and the environmental outcomes. So this is what we mean by stakeholder. I hope that it's clear. I try to use like very simple definition or simple like sentence to see what are the differences. So again, for us, like we are trying to network with all kind of parts, like partners, sponsors, stakeholders. And at some point, like some of stakeholders, they will become sponsors or they will become like our partners for some like initiative or some projects. So the next question, where we can do the networking with those people or where we can meet them. So I called like where we can meet them because like it could be like in person or like online meetings. And there are like many opportunities, but I tried like to come with like very specific examples, like 5 examples. And we can start here like with the events and the conferences. We know like that in person or online events will bring like some people together, like this opportunity, like this meeting with like the webinar. So we can have the chance like to chat with the new people, to meet with some people, to keep in touch with some people. And usually like the events and the conferences are like sometimes having like a very specific topic. For example, in this webinar, we are most of the people interested by like social enterprises, but you can go also like to sport event or like NGO event or whatever, which kind of event. And there you can start by creating like some connection, meeting like people having like this same mindset, let's say, or maybe having like the same expertise, or having like the same like city, coming from the same country, same region. So those kind of events and conferences, I think that's why we say like for the social entrepreneur, it's very important to know how to socialize with people, to know how to communicate with people, and to how to approach like those people. And I think if you are attending like event and or conference or any kind of training course, and if you don't go back home with at least like 3-4 like new contacts, so we are losing opportunities, guys. So we think this is one of the best thing, and at least for me, I hope that everyone from this session will keep like in touch with 2-3 people, even like sharing like some contacts later. So, and maybe if you are interested to share contacts, you can ask Federico and tell him that you are happy with sharing your contact with the other people who are joining like the webinar. The other specific place or opportunity, it's like the incubators and accelerators. So you know, like there are many organizations or many social enterprises, even like some companies or even like governmental institutions, they are trying like to provide support and resources to entrepreneurs. And this is in like mentorship, coaching, or even like funding, or like offering like co-working space. And this is like even we call them like alumni or mentors or partners network. And this is one of the good places or the good opportunities to create like networks, because you meet people that sometimes having like the same interest, having different expertise, and then you can select or can choose which people or which kind of contact you are interested in. The other, like, you can go to the next slide, Federico. So we have also some kind of business association or clubs, or even like we call them the organization where we learn, or where we get training, or when we get like support from different resources. And usually they are creating some kind of special networking events, and this will allow us like to meet new people, to meet like investors, to meet like businessmen or businesswomen, or even like to meet like some new organization. Another easy tool, which is like the SoMe or the social media platforms. And we know today how many of us got the chance like to become partner with other like organization, or like to be in joining an initiative or project by first of all having like sharing like good content about like their activities, or about their social enterprise, or about their organization, and how we can use those kind of platforms like such as LinkedIn, Twitter, even like Medium and Facebook, to provide like the entrepreneurs with easy channels for connecting in their industry, and also to share information, resources, and build relationship with potential partners. And I think if as social enterprises or like NGOs having very good and attractive like accounts in Facebook, or like Twitter, or like any kind of platform, so the other people maybe they will approach us and ask about our activities and how we manage like to do this initiative, and we can attract them. So this is like one of the easy platforms, and even like to keep in touch with the people. The other option is like having like referrals or recommendation from our network. We have friends, we have colleagues, we have business partners, and they can let's say promote what we are doing, or they can share like something about our activities. And I can give like the example from joining, like for the Tunisian Scouts joining this project, because like our partner from Egypt, or our friends from Egypt, like they shared our contact with our team from Italy. So also for me, it's very important to keep like good relationship with the people that you know, and you can share with them like what you are doing in your activities, or what you are doing in your social enterprise, besides like drinking coffee or watching football game, or like, I don't know, like having other things. Use that opportunity to tell something, or to share some words about like what you are doing. You can bring them to your side. You can use them as like people to network for you, or to provide like support. So this is like something very important, as I know that most of the social entrepreneurs, they are trying to benefit from every moment, and they are trying like to manage to use in the best way like their network. So those like 5 different ways. But guys, if you have like any suggestion or anything that you think is useful, just like share it in the chat, and we can talk about it later, or can invite you like to share with us your thoughts. So from this networking with the different kind of, or the different categories of let's say stakeholders, for sure there are some advantages and some benefits for us as like social enterprise. I guess like one of the first thing that we think about it is like access to funding. And with creating like the network, for us, we have like very specific, let's say, expectation, or maybe very specific like objectives. And one of the objectives for like the social enterprise is like to have like the right funding to implement your initiatives. And for like this, if you are having the right network, even if you are not having like contact with like donor, or like anyone can support with funding, you can have like contact with person who will help you to get access to those like opportunities, or he will or she will share with you like some opportunities, or he will or she will like support you in growing like your business as social enterprise. So we know that the financial resources are one of the main. They are not the main thing that we need as social enterprise, but they are one of the main resources that we need. The other advantages is like to for me, when it's like this snowball, when you have like starting small network, so it's growing one by like step by step, so it's generating like new connection. So you are having like people talking about your project or about your activities, and it's like word of mouth and like kind of easy marketing. So if I know about your activity, and if I will have the chance like to meet other people, maybe I will mention your nice initiative of your social enterprise, or if you did like a good project, maybe I will try like to duplicate the same thing, and maybe I will ask you how you did that, or I will ask you to cooperate with me to duplicate the same thing in my country or in my city. So having like the lead in this kind of it's one of the benefits for like networking. Also, again, like collaboration and partnerships. So networking will give you like the chance like to join more projects, to join more partnerships. And if you are today in one of the alliances or like in one of the projects, so having like, let's say the other partners discovering you and discovering your activity, discovering your expertise, or even like your potential. So they will try like to check if they can cooperate with you, and to have like always like partnership or like long-term collaboration will be beneficial for like the social enterprise, but as well as like for your community. So for us, like the main objective is like to serve the community and to serve like the people where we are working. So this is like one of the advantages. Another advantage is, which is like in the next slide, Federico. Yeah, already done. Thank you. So like the field insights, which means that we are giving more opportunities for like those like people joining our network to see like the trends, to be always up to date, to see like the best practice, or even like to see like the new technologies. We know that I can give like the very easy example of Zoom. So I think few like companies or like social enterprise started like using Zoom, but when you are inviting like a new partner to come and join like activity in Zoom, so he will understand this tool and he will use it like for next time. So he's like discovering like a new technology. The other advantage of networking is like mentorship and advices. When I'm joining like any kind of network, having like many people from different like, let's say, fields with different expertise, and if we know each other, I think as we are, let's say, having the same, let's say, or the shared or the common goal is like to develop our communities, I think we'll not be very, let's say, we'll be very open to share our expertise with other people. And when we see like someone having need for something, so we'll try like to guide this person or advising this person how to implement like successful initiatives. And this is like beneficial for all of us. Again, the difference between like social enterprises and other kind of corporates is like we are cooperating together, and we are trying like to, that's true, we are trying like to compete against each other, but we are competing to offer like better quality for like the community, and we are trying like to attract more and more like, let's say, beneficiaries, so they can benefit from what we are offering. So those like some kind of like let's say benefits or advantages. And if you want, Federico, maybe we can have like 5 minutes to have like first stop for the questions or for like feedback, if like the nice guests having any question. Otherwise, If we don't have, we can finish like also the presentation and then come back. If we have, I'm trying to check the chat at the same time if we have anything.
At the moment, we
Cool.
have, I think we can go forward and again, like remind everyone the invitation to write down the questions in the chat so that we can take them during the presentation or eventually take a bit of time in the end of the presentation. The real advantage of following the webinar live is exactly that you have the possibility to interact with the speakers and send them direct questions so that they can provide some food for your curiosity directly during the presentations. Otherwise, you will have just to follow what will be recorded and shared. So please use the opportunity.
Cool. So maybe if we move to the next slide. So the main objective from networking is like to build like partnerships or maybe collaboration. It could be like kind of official partnership, but also it could be something informal. And I tried like to use like one nice LinkedIn article about like how or what are like the 6 main steps like to build internship. And the first step is like how you identify your potential partner. So this is like will help you like to build and sustain your partnership, because you know like some partnerships they start like for a very short time, but also it's very important to know how to stay in your partnership. And this is will start with like the first important step is to know how to identify who is your potential partnership. And this is, it can start by very easy mapping out of the ecosystem in your like field of work. So you need like to know the ecosystem and to see who are like the actors, the influencers, and also the beneficiaries, and even like the competitors in your like space where you are working. Then you start by having like let's say short list with trying like to identify who are like the or what are like the factors that make this potential partner close to your mission and vision, and also like your values as like social enterprise, and as well as like to see if you can with this potential part have like mutual trust and mutual respect, and if you can together have some synergy to create like let's say positive impact in your community. So there are so many tools to let's say to do this mapping, and one of the workshops that we are going to implement in the field, it's something like that will help. So if you are guys interested to see this kind of tools, we are inviting you like to follow up our project, and to join like some of the workshops that we are going to implement in these 6 countries, as Federico mentioned in the first session. So the idea is like that you can, as I said, know how to identify like this potential partner, and then try to like second step is like to communicate your value proposition, because when you identify potential partner, you have to approach this like partner and try to communicate with them and to share your like proposition or your value proposition, which means that you can share with them what you will do or what you are doing and why you do that, and how you do it, and who will be the beneficiary and how they will benefit from this kind of activity. I think this is like with different channels. Nowadays, we have like all technologies. You can even like communicate with people in other countries as we are doing now. So doesn't mean that you need like to cooperate with just potential partners from your like city or your country, but like we know like we have all the tools to do it like sharing or using the different like channels. So the importance of choosing the right communication with this like potential partner is like very important, because we need to know how to shape our like message, or how to share with them what we want to do. So this is very, very important. And also this will lead us like to the third step, which is like the negotiation of the expectation and the roles. As like will be partners, we need to know exactly what we are expecting from the other partner, and what will be his role, and what will be our role. And this is like should be like very clear and realistic, and being like very smart to know your partner, and to know what they are doing, what they are expert in, which kind of expertise they have, which kind of resources they have. And this is will lead to have like, as I said, like clear expectation and the clear role. And as much as you ask me to support you in something, and I know that you are, let's say, well informed about what I'm doing, and asking me like the right support or the right question, it will show me that you are a good partner and that we can do something together. But if you come to me without like unclear ideas, coming with like unclear question, or even you don't know what I'm doing, or which kind of expertise I have as potential partner, so it will show me that you are not like the right partner or the good partner. So this is why I said like you need to know your let's say expectation, and which kind of role you will play both partners. And this thing, it could be like, or the best thing, it should be like formal, and having maybe a memorandum of understanding, or like any kind of contracts or agreements with like very clear action plan, with very clear like let's say steps, will help both of the partners like to have like, let's say, healthy cooperation, and it will support both of you like to implement like your initiative in the right way, and to reach your objectives. So this is like something like crucial. And for sure, we need to have, as partners, we need to have like mutual benefits. We need to be both accountable, transparent, and we need to respect each other. And those like the let's say the key rules for like having like a successful like partnership. The fourth step, so we need to know like how to, after that, how to manage like the relationship, and how to have like good performance with like these existing partners. It means that we need like to have regular effective communication. We need like to monitor and evaluate our progress and the impact as well, which is like very important. We need like to share feedback, and to have to be like very transparent when we are sharing like the feedback. Also, we don't hide like from conflicts or challenges. We need like to discuss those conflicts and challenges, and we try like to resolve anything happen in the like as soon as possible, to not complicate things. And another very important thing is like to learn from failure. If we have any failure, we need like to learn from that failure. And also we need like to celebrate our success. It's very important like to say to each other, well done, we did that very well, and we are happy because we managed to do that. And we are like learning from our experience, and we are trying like to, let's say, improve our experience. And for this kind of monitoring and evaluation, there are many tools as well. Like we can have like the regular meetings, like the reports, the surveys, and even like to share like some reviews for both. And for me, again, like one of the important things is like respect, and being honest and like transparent with your partner will help like to create better relationship, as it's always like win-win let's say relation. The fifth step is like we know that always there are like new trends, there are like new technologies, there are like new needs, there are like new challenges, and we need like as partners, if you want like to sustain our relationship or our partnership, we need like to adapt, but also we need to innovate. And it means that we need to recognize and to see what are like the changing that we need to do if we are both growing, and if we need like to change some things in our like partnership, or if we are changing something in our, let's say, activities, we need like to know how to address that and which kind of social problem that we are addressing. And this is like help us like to improve of our like way of scaling our activity, or if we are trying to make our partnership bigger, if we started with a small project or one activity, so maybe in the next year we can have like bigger project or like checking different activities. And this is like how we keep our partnership growing, and how we can learn from each other. And when we know each other like year by year, so we can be more creative together, and we can be more open to share like some expertise. The last step, which is like we need like to share our stories and our impact with like the existing, I mean like with within this like partnership. And we need like to let's say see which kind of change we have created in our community or like in our like work. And this is like will help us by sharing our stories and our impact to create more influence in our community. And we try to bring like more partners to our partnership. It could be like let's say partnership between like two partners, but it can be like a partnership between 5 partners. And this is by sharing our stories and which kind of impact we are reaching, we are able to engage more partners, or to engage like more let's say stakeholders in our work. So this is in general like the different steps how to build like the partnership. There are like some examples of partnerships we can share that, Federico. So here I tried like to see, let's say, 2 categories when it comes like to partnership between companies and social enterprises. We know that companies mostly they are for profit, let's say, and we are as social enterprise, we are not that profit, we are like focusing on like social impact. And usually like social enterprise, they can let's say join some value chain partnerships. And here like when we talk about value chain, like the social enterprise, they can be like suppliers, or they can be like the distributor, they call them like last mile distributor, or even like they can serve as provider. So this is for the value chain. For the strategic sponsorship, also like usually here like company that try to decide to be partner with social enterprise, and they try to provide them with like long-term funding, or like even like mentorship, or let's say supporting them to scale their work and to evolve the social enterprise activities. And this is sometimes, you know, like some big companies, they are trying like to use this as part of their CSR or corporate social responsibility. And here there is like the picture from, you know, IKEA. It's very famous company. And here IKEA is trying like to cooperate with the Indian social enterprise. And they managed in less than a decade, let's say, to create more than 30,000 jobs. And the idea that IKEA having this kind of big, let's say, shops to offer like this kind of handcrafted product and different things like for houses. So here they use it like this partnership with the social enterprise in India, where like the women, they are making this handicraft and they are using like IKEA to sell this. So this is like an example, and there are so many examples of partnerships between like companies and social entrepreneurship, either like as sponsors or even as like part of their social, as their corporate social responsibility. So those different kind of things, and there are like many references and resources if you need like to see that. So the other slide, please, Federico. So I tried here like to, let's say, to share some kind of collaboration models between like usually corporate and social enterprise. There is something called like joint program, which is like kind of a special partnership where the company work together with the social enterprise to, let's say, solve some issues or to tackle like some challenges. And they try to set like some common goals and to see what are the risks and the rewards. And they try to use their unique, let's say, strength to make or to design something together. So this is some kind of, it's one of the models. The other model, which is called like industry alliance, and like here, like the social enterprise, usually they, as a social enterprise, we are influencing people, we are inspiring people, and we can support like corporates or companies to make their activities sustainable, and also to invest through participation in the industry platform. So here, like the social enterprise can use like the advocacy or like use some tools or framework or service like to work on sustainability with the social impact. And here, like we know that how social enterprises like focusing on like the SDGs and trying like to advocate sometimes on specific topics, and even some social enterprises, they are like let's say fighting to create this world better than what happening, and like even sometimes we are fighting with like companies to ask them to change their activities or like to make their productive more eco-friendly. So this is like kind of collaboration model, and even sometimes they do like some research with the social enterprises, giving them some feedback about like their product or something. Also, there is the incubation. I think I don't need like to talk a lot about incubation, and you know like what we mean by incubation, how like companies offering like some social enterprises places where they can learn and let's say help them to develop their work. And here like the Yunus social business is like one of the examples that they worked with 20 companies. The acquisition, and here like which is like a very interesting model, like for me, like when we talk about acquisition, it's like when a company try to even buy like a social enterprise or have it as part of the company. And we know that many big companies or like corporates, they have like their own social enterprises. And this is like one of the way how there are like, let's say, the cooperation between those two different entities. So the social enterprise trying like to create like positive change and like a really nice impact. However, like the companies, they are trying like to expand their markets, and they are trying like to discover like new markets, and both together they can like cooperate in this. So it's again win-win like a relation. So I think I tried like to summarize some different aspects and some different ideas. I will be happy like to hear like some if people have something to add or to give more ideas, we'll be happy to that, but also we'll be happy to discuss some questions or answer some questions. And again, like it's open for everyone to contribute. Even if you have better answers than me, I'm happy for that, to hear like and to learn something new. Yeah.
Thank you, Maher, first of all, for this very interesting presentation with many different aspects being treated during it. A lot of food for thoughts and interesting chance to discuss and see about different things connected with networking, fundamental aspect of the life of a social enterprise. We have two questions in the chat. We didn't talk about it before because you were presenting, so it was better to leave it to the end. And the first one is like this. When we send to an organization a partnership opportunity and we don't receive any answer, should we send a reminder considering that we have the same kind of interests, or better not to push too much? How do you see this?
Yeah, I think Sahar, who wrote the question, maybe she can answer this question after seeing like my slide about like building partnership. But also I'm happy like to share again like the idea. The idea is that we need to know how we choose like our potential partner, and we need to have like something shared. And you said like they have like the same kind of interest, but if we have the same kind of interest, am I as organization ready to cooperate with you? Am I ready like to have like a partnership? So this is like one of the question, and always like having like kind of, let's say, a conversation with this partner and checking with them in person, or even having calls and hearing from them what they think. It's like the best step to start with before like starting sending them official, let's say, communication saying that we have this partnership opportunity and we want to work with you. But we need to meet them, and we need like to let's say to show them who we are and which kind of activities we are doing, and what will be their benefits if they are joining us as partner. So this is like very important, Sahar. So this is what I think should be like the key step, is like to make sure that your potential partner know very well to whom they are talking and which kind of benefits they will have from this partnership. So I think I ask you if you can start kind of a real conversation with this potential partner, and even like you can use like your common contact or your like network to meet each other.
Thank you, Maher. And the second question, in some ways connected, but it's like a different case study, let's say. So after a successful networking session during a conference, for example, or a real life meeting, how to maintain and even develop a business relationship with a contact that I got without being perceived as too much pushy?
It's very easy way for me. Like if you see that one of the people that you met in conference, and you see that there is like potential networking partnership with us, try to keep this person or this partner like informed. Try to share with them some reports from like your organization or from your social enterprise. Try to invite them to your activities. Try like to maybe to ask them to give you like advice or feedback about what you are doing, and like that you can show them how you are implementing your activities and how is your like social enterprise. Also, it's very important like to show this kind of networks how let's say well organized and how serious and like responsible we are as social enterprise. And we need like to show them maybe some results or what we have achieved as social enterprise, so they can see that we are like doing something and we are like implementing some projects. We are not just like talking, or like we know that so many let's say, so many enterprises or many, I saw your question again, Xenia, like some social enterprises organization, they are talkative more than they are doing. They don't like reach like real results, and this is like something not good. For your question, like the frequency, for me, if you have like good events or good activities that interest like this potential partner, you can share with them. If you have like a newsletter as a social enterprise or as NGO, share with them your newsletter. If you know them on social media, invite them to follow your page or to follow you like your LinkedIn or your Facebook like account. So those could be something, and when they see that there is something common with what you are doing and with your activity and can attract them, for sure, I think they will not hesitate to use that opportunity as well.
Thank you, Maher. If I can build up on this, just to remind that in the next days as well, we're going to have a webinar about communication and community relations. So I pretty much think that this kind of situations should be tailored depending on who is the partner that you are engaging with, and of course, like depending on how they like to be contacted and how often and with which kind of media or proposals. You can differentiate your style, and probably we will have space to discuss more about this also in the webinar about this and in general in the following days. One question I can ask you, Maher, myself, you have a very long experience in fundraising and in many different events as well, connected with obtaining as well financial support by different kinds of partners as the scouts for sure, but in general as well. With your background, you have knowledge about this, and many social enterprises, especially in the beginning, struggle with this part, which is finding sponsors. And my question would be like, how do you convince or how do you present your project, your idea, your future build up of a social enterprise as something which is valuable and that can be financed and is like good to put efforts and resources from a potential sponsor?
Yeah, very good question, Federico. And for me, like, there are some very important things that we need to do is like, when we are developing our work or when we are growing, we need like to do that step by step. So start with this small step, make small initiatives with like very clear results, with the way how you can, let's say, involve your like community, and where you can bring like the youth from your community. So where people, they will see the real results, then they will not hesitate to finance your activities. And I can say something from our scout group, that we are having kind of social enterprise, let's say, mission. So we are like both doing capacity building at the same time, doing like social enterprise, social projects for our initiative for our community. And we started with like the first initiative was like with the, I can remember it was like 700 euro, not more. But now we are having like very big projects, but because we know how to communicate about our initiative, and when we have like some achievements, we try like to communicate with them, but also we are trying like to involve the different stakeholders, starting from our community, from the parents, from like the youth, from the kids, to the schools, to the let's say governmental institution, like to the municipality, with the different ministries. And this way, like when you show the work you are doing, having like bigger network, then when you apply for a fund, you can get it easier. And even you can get advice from those donors to make your like proposal or to make your initiative like better and more adaptable to what they are requesting. So this is one of the ways how we are doing. But also when we having like let's say partnership with any partners, even if we fail in something, we are transparent with them. We share with them which kind of challenges that we have and how we manage to let's say to overcome that challenge, or even we ask them if they can support us with some advices, so they see that we are not like ignoring something or we are not respecting our like agreements, but if we face a challenge, we share that in transparent way.
Thank you, Maher. Thanks a lot. It's 4:57. We would have like 3 minutes to close, just in case there is any more questions. We can take them now in the chat, in case there is someone curious. Otherwise, we are perfectly on time with our 1 hour timing to close up the second webinar of the day about networking with partners, sponsors, and different stakeholders. I don't see anything appearing. Yes, again, something connected with the recordings. Yes, all the recordings will be uploaded on YouTube channel, and then later on the website of our project EYES, for which I will share the link once more on the chat, so that you can already like take a look of what has been developed up to now. But later on you will find in the button dedicated, in the page dedicated to the different tools that have been developed during the project, the webinars, the recordings, as well as other valuable tools connected with social entrepreneurship and education to this topic for young people. You that subscribed to the webinar, you will all receive an email containing the direct link to the page where you can find all of them. So yes, you will get this information, you will have the chance to watch it again and take more time to digest the information shared. I would say that like since we are basically in the end, we can close it here. Maher, I don't know if you have any other words before we close.
Thank you for everyone, and I'm inviting everyone to join the other webinars, and please be in touch with us if you want to join like the workshops that we are going to implement in different countries. Yeah.